Yo, Kidsway Studios, what's up? I'm glad to see you guys here. Thank you for spending some time with us here today. Hey, my name is Julian. I get to be our pastor here in Kidsway Studios, and I love being here with you guys. So hey, I hope that you had a fantastic Thanksgiving, that you filled your bellies with wonderful food, and that your hearts were filled with love and joy and thankfulness to our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, as we've learned throughout this month that we can be thankful for all the things that He's given us, even those still little small things that we might not notice every day. And hey, this series has been all about one word: contentment. That's right. When you're content, it means that you're okay with what you have. And we've been asking you to take it a step further. We've been asking that you try to find a way to be happy with the things that you have and be happy with who you are. Because believe me when I tell you, God has made you the way you are on purpose. You are a good thing. You are a good person. God doesn't make bad things. God doesn't make mistakes. God made you with love, and the Bible says that we are all amazing and wonderful, and you are those things. Believe it. So today we're going to wrap up this series called UpCycle. Again, it's all about contentment. It's been a fantastic month, and today our big answer says this. Check this out. You can always use what you have to help someone else. Say that with me. Ready? 1, 2, 3. You can always use what you have to help someone else. Great job. You can always use what you have to help someone else. But there comes a time where most of us will be like, yeah, but I don't have much. What can I use to help other people? Well, you see, when you get to a place that you can trust Jesus, like Paul did as he writes to the church of Macedonia, that's where we're going to be listening into from today. When we get to a place that we can trust Jesus, we'll realize something, that we have the strength to accomplish anything because God is with us. So hey, as we read this story today, I want you to keep that in mind. Do you trust Jesus? And we'll go from there. Our Bible story is going to be awesome today. And hey, before we get into our Bible story, what do you say we sing and dance and worship our way as we go? And we do that because it's so important to focus in on Jesus, because our weeks may have been rough. Some things might have made us sad. I pray that that's not the case for you, but in the case where it is, even if you get way excited and super happy, sometimes it can be hard to focus in on Jesus. And worshiping helps us to do that. And that's what we're getting ready to do right now. So stand up to your feet and let's worship together.
Everybody, everywhere, all around the world. This ain't up right now because I got something to say and it will be heard. I made up my mind, not afraid to show. That's right, gonna leave the past behind, gonna let the whole world know I am who God says I am. Let me tell you that. I am who God says I am. I am forgiven, I am a winner, I have been chosen. Jesus, I am yours. Jesus, I am yours. Forever. Jesus, I am yours. Forever. I am. Jesus, I am yours. I belong to the one who saved me. I belong to the one who gave his life. So I will take my place. I will stand and say, Jesus, I am yours. I am who God says I am. I am who God says I am. Let's go. I am who God says I am. I am who God says I am. I am who God says I am.
My name's Erica, and I'm here to talk to you about contentment. Contentment is learning to be okay with what you have. And I mean, whatever you have. Let's take bicycles, for instance. You can be content if you have the best bicycle in the world. Like this one. This is top of the line. You could climb a mountain with this bike. And if you get tired of pedaling, it's got a motor that kicks in that helps you keep moving. Or maybe you have a bike like this. You can be content with an old used bike that's been around the block a few times. It may not shine like a brand new bike, but it gets the job done. But here's something that will really surprise you. That's right. You can be content with having no bike at all. It's true! Not everyone in the world has a bike, and lots of those people are quite content without one. In fact, you can be content even if all you have is a box of bike parts. I mean, there's so many uses for a box of bike parts, right? I'm big and you're small. Hey, big guy, are you gearing up for a fight? In today's story, we'll hear about the next step after contentment. I think you'll get a real kick out of this story. This is a kickstand. So many uses. Man, all right, I'll see you next time.
The Bible. It's 66 books of history, stories, letters, and poetry that fit together to form God's one big story. The epic adventure of how He created us and loves us so much that He made a way to rescue us. As we travel through the Bible, from Genesis to Revelation, we discover people who met God and found their lives changed forever. Now, for an amazing story, inspired by the book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 8, verses 1 through 5.
As Sarah entered the cafeteria, bagged lunch in hand, Grace waved her over.
Hey, Sarah, we figured out the service project thing.
Sarah slid into the seat beside Grace, across from Cassie and Rochelle. All three of them sported expensive salon haircuts and manicures. Sarah tried to smooth down her own frizzy hair. She was glad that St. Joseph's School requires uniforms, because at least her clothes looked like what everyone else was wearing.
Oh, right, the project for social studies?
Miss Moss had required that individual groups find a service project to do during the holiday season.
I looked through Miss Moss's list. This one's perfect.
Grace showed her tablet screen to Sarah.
Helping a refugee family? That's a great idea.
Yeah, we can just buy them stuff from this list and send it to their new home.
Where is the...
Sarah looked at the table again, trying to decipher the name on the page.
Where is the KMB family living? Somewhere over on the east side, like Grove or some place with those rundown houses.
Sarah swallowed hard. She lived on the east side when she moved in with her grandma. It was only because of a scholarship that she was able to attend St. Joseph's School.
It says here the family needs 3 sets of sheets. Oh, I know. You've seen those ads for tufted owl sheets? They're supposed to be the best.
Sarah's eyes widened.
Aren't those sheets like $200?
That's cool. My dad will give me the money.
They need dishes. I'll order a full set from Macy's. My mom has a platinum card there.
I'll get them a TV. Perfect way to learn English, right?
Enter a credit card number and boom, service project done.
The girls turned to Sarah, who avoided their eyes by staring at the list of needs on the tablet.
Hey, Sarah, what are you gonna send? They need winter coats. I saw these awesome tailored down jackets on sale for like $125.
I don't know. I'll text you all later.
That evening at dinner, Sarah barely touched her spaghetti. Grandma peered across the table, her eyes bright under her wiry white hair.
Now, what's wrong, Sarah?
Oh, it's this service project I have to do for school. We're supposed to help this refugee family that's moving into a house over on the Grove. The Kayembes.
That sounds like a lovely idea.
Yeah, but everyone else is ordering stuff for them. Expensive sheets and TVs and things. The only money I have right now is for bus fare. What am I gonna give?
You don't have to have a lot to give a lot.
you didn't answer my question.
Grandma smiled and reached for the worn Bible that always sat on the kitchen table.
No, but St. Paul will.
Sarah knew that once Grandma got a scripture passage stuck in her mind, there was no stopping her from reading it.
Okay, fine. I'm listening.
Let's see. It's right here in 2 Corinthians. Paul was writing to a group of churches. We want you to know about the grace that God has given to the churches in Macedonia. They have suffered a great deal, but in their suffering, their joy was more than full. Even though they were very poor, they gave very freely. In fact, they gave even more than they could. Completely on their own, they begged us for the chance to share in serving the Lord's people in that way.
But that's still talking about money. The churches gave money.
Listen with your heart. They gave from what they had, and they did it with joy.
Well, what I have is not money.
But you've got other things.
Okay, I'm good at baking. I know how to use the bus and get around. I have time, I guess.
Grandma beamed and her face crinkled.
All good things.
Reluctantly, Sarah smiled back.
Okay, I'll make a list.
Next morning, Sarah's friends crowded around her locker.
Hey, have you decided what you're gonna buy?
Well, I thought maybe the Cayambe family needs more than just stuff.
Like how?
Maybe they need help. You know, like finding the library, figuring out the bus system. Yeah, I don't know anything about that. But I do. And I Googled and found a number for their caseworker. And she said we could help the Cayambes decorate their new home for Christmas.
Oh, that's a really cool idea.
I found this awesome video that shows how to make Christmas ornaments from salt dough that you shape and bake and paint. You all could come to my place and help.
Sure, that'd be great.
I mean, it's a tiny apartment kitchen and all.
You tell us what to do, we'll do it.
Sarah breathed a sigh of relief. Maybe she couldn't send $200 sheets, but she could use her time and creativity, and even her grandma's tiny kitchen, to help welcome a new family to her neighborhood.
Who am I that the highest king would welcome me? I was lost, but he brought me in. Oh, his love for me. Oh, his love for me. Who the sun sets free, oh, is free indeed. I'm a child of God, yes I am. Free at last, he has ransomed me. His grace runs deep. While I was a slave to sin, Jesus died for me. Yes, he died for me. Who the sun sets free, oh, is free indeed. I'm a child of God, yes I am. In my Father's house, there's a place for me. I'm a child of place for me. I'm a child of God. Yes, I am.
The people in the Macedonian churches didn't have a lot, and yet somehow they were okay with that. They were content. And it was that contentment that made them want to share their time, talents, and resources with others. You see, when you learn how to be content, it makes you really see all the good things you have. You learn to be thankful for what you've been given, and the more thankful you are, the more likely you'll want to share what you have with someone else. Like, maybe I could share these bicycle parts. You know, I'll bet there's a bike somewhere that's falling over somewhere because they need a kickstand. I could give this to that bike. Or someone might need, to replace their chain because theirs is old and rusted or broken. Let's see. These might even help someone hold onto their handlebars a little bit tighter. I could give all these parts away and help a lot of people. You know, we all have something we can give. Maybe you don't have a lot, but you've got something. You may have money or stuff, or you may have strength to help your family around the house with chores. You may have talent to make people happy, or you can have time to spend with people who don't want to be alone. Honestly, you'll truly start to see what you have to give when you learn how to be content. The Apostle Paul wrote that he learned to be content through the power of Christ, who gave him strength. When you put your trust in Jesus, he can give you that strength too. The one thing to remember today is this: you can always use what you have to help someone else. So think about all you have to give and be thankful. Don't forget what I've spoke in. Get it? This is a spoke. See you around, because it's a wheel. Bye!
You can always use what you have to help someone else. That's our big answer. Can you say that with me real quick? You can always use what you have to help someone else. Great job. You can always use what you have to help someone else. And we asked that question earlier. Is it maybe you feel like, well, I don't really have much to give. But here's the thing. We know that in the Bible it says that God has given us all gifts. And here's what I know. God has given us all talents. He's given us all time. And he's given us all some mode of creativity. I know for a fact that we all have one, if not all three of those things. And we can help so many people to make such a big difference with just one of those three: time, talents, and creativity. If you have one of those things to offer, you can make a huge difference in someone's life. If you have time, you can help somebody with a project or a chore. You can be a great help to them if you can offer your time to them. In your talents, maybe you're really good at sports. You can be really good at being on a team and taking that team, maybe winning a championship. You can turn a culture around from a losing culture into a winning culture because of the talents that God has given you. Or maybe you're creative. Maybe you can think of ways, you can think of plans, you can think of solutions to help and fix problems that nobody else can. These things exist for us, and not just some of us, for all of us. In some way, we can offer our time, our talents, and our creativity to help people and make a big difference, not just in their lives, but in our own lives. Because when we give, it can be such a blessing to our own hearts. It can heal us in so many more ways. Have you ever heard the phrase, it's better to give than receive? That is absolutely true. And if you've never tried giving, I highly suggest you do it. Try to give some of your time away, helping somebody. Try to give away your talents to a team. Be a part of a team where you can use your talents. Hey, your creativity. Help somebody think through a problem. You never know. Maybe you'll help them solve something they've been trying to fix for a long time and just haven't been able to. Either way, guys, We love you so much. Thank you so much for spending some time with us. And before we go, I want to leave you with our memory verse for this series. Do you remember where it's at? It's in the book of Luke, chapter 12, verse 15. Here it is. Then he said to them, "Watch out. Be on your guard against wanting to have more and more things. Life is not made up of how much a person has." I'm going to read that last part. Life is not made up of how much a person has. Luke 12:15. Life isn't made up about how much a person has. And here's the thing. If you trust God, then you believe that where you're at right now, you have all that you need. And that's a big thing to believe in. If you believe that who you are is good enough, if you believe that what you have is good enough, then you are content. And sometimes it takes a little bit for us to grow into that, to being content, to being happy with who you are, to being happy with what you have. But if you can get to that place, then you trust God and you can have the power to help others. Kidsway Studios, regardless of what's going on in your life, I want you to believe that God has made you a beautiful and wonderful person. We love you guys. We can't wait to start a brand new series with you next month. So make sure that you come right back here to this place. Same time, same place. And we'll catch you then. Until that time, be good, stay safe. Let's get ready for Christmas and we'll see you next time. Bye.